Guys, we're back with the Screen Team. It's Chris and Logan. We're talking movies, and this next movie is a very, very interesting movie. The movie is called I Love You, Phillip Morris. It stars Jim Carrey, also Ewan McGregor, and it's based on a true story, right, Logan?
Yep, it's actually based on a true story. As crazy the situations may sound, it is.
Yeah. Now, Jim Carrey's character, he kind of starts off, he's self-narrating. He's telling about himself, and he starts off as a cop, right?
Yeah, he basically starts off as just a regular Joe Blow, and then he's kind of small town. He's a small town police officer, and at the beginning he finds out like he's been adopted, and he's all mad because he was the middle child when his mother left him. And basically since that he moved, got a different job, kind of lost his mind a little bit, and just actually lived the normal life of most people. He had a job that made decent money and paid too much on for things, and that's pretty much how he lived.
So he was married, had a wife, had some kids.
Yep.
One of the funny scenes early on is, he finds his real mother, and he's knocking on the door, and he's like, "Mom, it's me," and she's like, "Oh," she closes the door on him, and he sees his brother's having a birthday, and he's like, that should be my birthday, and stuff like that. So that was pretty funny. So, like you said, he moves with his family, and what we find out about Jim Carrey's character is that he's got a big secret, right?
Yep, he's got a very big secret he kept from everyone, and it happened. He lets it out when he's driving back in his Corvette from someone's house, and he gets in a wreck. And at that moment, I guess he had an inner, I guess it just said like close near-death experience. He said, "I'm going to live how I'm going to be." And from that point on, he said, "I'm going to be gay."
Yeah, and he kind of throws it on the audience in a surprise. He's like, "Oh wait, did I tell you I'm gay?" So from right there, you kind of see where the movie is going to take you, right? So Jim Carrey's got a different lifestyle going on. He's got a boyfriend and all that kind of stuff, but he starts living another kind of different life where he's doing some stuff that illegal stuff.
Yeah, he's a little bit, what was it? Credit card fraud's what's going on, and cops get a hold of him, and then he gets thrown in jail.
He gets thrown in jail. But he finds his knack in jail. He finds, he kind of, at first, he's having a tough time at it, but then he finds his way, and he knows his way around it very, very, very well. And you see that he is a good manipulator. Very
good manipulator in this movie. He can basically, he goes by, you have 2 ears for listening and 1 mouth for talking, pretty much.
I like that. So you see him, and he meets a fellow inmate played by Ewan McGregor, and these two guys, they fall in love, and they both eventually get out of prison, and Jim Carrey just can't stay on the straight and narrow, right?
Yep, he starts his life, and he gets into a job that he had no business even getting in the first place.
Like, was he like a lawyer or something?
He played a lawyer part, and one part of it for a woman, because he said he learned law and stuff, and he basically said he had a law practice. He had none whatsoever, and just showed up to court with a briefcase and a sandwich, and just played kind of dumb, and somehow or another he won the case.
Yeah.
And later he got a job working at a corporation with, I guess he was delivering the checks, or he sent them out, and he figured out a little loophole where he could make a little bit of money off of it, and somewhere there was it $20 million more a year he was making.
Right. He had a mansion, he had fancy cars, the whole 9 yards, and they finally catch up on his scheme, and they put him back in jail. But he keeps getting out of jail.
Yeah, he keeps escaping in like the craziest, most odd ways. Like, what was one of the ways do we want to give away the main way he got out?
Well, there was like one way where he figured out when he was passing out sandwiches that if you knock on the door special, that they just like let you out and you don't really ID you or whatever. So he got like a walkie-talkie and just hit on the door, and they just let him out. And he was like, okay, and there was just so many creative ways where he did that kind of thing, where he must have escaped from jail like 3 or 4 times. It was crazy how he was clever enough to do that. So I found that part of the story very, very interesting, What is it that you like about the film?
The thing I thought was very interesting is that because it's based on a true story, and actually he is still in prison today in solitary confinement and only gets 1 hour a day to be outside or something like that, and the rest of the time he's locked up.
That's amazing. Just because he can manipulate and be clever and figure things out so well.
But the craziest part is that what he went to prison for is now a widely done practice in many high-up corporations.
Yeah.
With the way he did things, but it just happened to be illegal at that point, and he was taking money out of other people's pockets. So he got sent back to prison, and probably didn't help that he escaped who knows how many times.
Right. So I love you, Phillip Morris. Who's going to like this film? People who like Jim Carrey?
You'll look at Jim Carrey a different way. But
Very true. Very, very true. Obviously, this movie is rated R. It's got language in it and some sex scenes and stuff like that. So obviously, you definitely need to be over 17 to watch this film. But it's an interesting watch. It's called I Love You, Phillip Morris, and you can find it on DVD, and it's streaming on Netflix too. Logan, dude, thank you for being on the show. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back. Actually, we're off next week, so we'll be back on October 15th with a brand new show for you on the Screen Team. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, we're on Twitter as well, and check us out at ScreenTeamPB.com. For Logan and Chris, we are the Screen Team right here on KWOC.